Yo, what's up, guys? We're going to find some bets. So I'm going to focus on kind of the main books. We obviously got a lot of NFL games this weekend. I'm not sure how many NBA games tonight. It looks like there's a pretty full slate. Wow. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. We got enough NBA games to find some bets. That's for sure. And that's what we're going to do in this video. So we'll try to focus on the main books: Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Fliff. I mean, there's probably good bets on FanDuel, Caesars, DraftKings. There's tons of sports books out there, but the U.S., I mean, everywhere, it's super weird because this industry is so regulated. So all these, every state has different sports books. Some sports books are only in like 2 states, 3 states. So we'll try to focus on the main ones. But anyways, let's go to Fliff. Let's go to PrizePicks. Let's go to Underdog. Maybe we could do some parlay play as well, and we can take a look at kind of everything. So where do we want to start out? We can start out on PrizePicks. They have some promos. They had like a protected play, Flex Friday, so your first bet is risk-free. And then they also had a payout boost. So, you go 6 for 6 in a 6 flex, and you're getting a 30x payout boost. And I got my little spreadsheets that kind of like break down the math behind PrizePicks. So we can kind of go through that, but regardless, let's find some bets. So the first play, we got some college football showing up. I think most states you can bet on college football, and you can see this line's already moving. So some of the best bets, they're going to move quickly. But if you just look at, passing yards for Mikey Keene, you're going to see PrizePicks has his line, take a look. PrizePicks has his line at, they had his line at 253.5. They dropped it to around 245.5. So, kind of the value went away. But again, as sports bettors, we're looking for value in the market. That's kind of the point of every tool on OddsJam. There's, really no bullshit. It's just trying to help point out value. Where are there good lines on PrizePicks based in data, right? Not based in bullshit, your gut, stuff like that. So one play, it's still up, so fuck it. Might as well bet it. That I really like. And we can see if this Gibbs play is still available. Honestly, I'm surprised PrizePicks still has this lineup. Is Diggs no touchdown? This play is really good. So even if you already bet it once, I would definitely personally recommend betting it again. So the way that PrizePicks works, right, is they have fixed payouts, so, you take his over, his under, whatever. Granted, it's different for these goblins. They kind of are new, but ignore the goblins and the demons for now, right? The way that PrizePicks works is you take a guy's over or you take his under, you're getting the same payout, so fixed payouts. And what we want to do, kind of like the basis of making money, actually making money on PrizePicks, is comparing their lines to books, right? PrizePicks, they'll give us the same payout if we take Diggs to score or not score. But if you look at, all of these sports books, he is a huge favorite to not score. So you have Pinnacle, one of the sharpest books out there. You have Fliff, minus 205 odds, minus 200, 2-1 favorite, 2/3 to win, 66.67%. So Diggs is a huge favorite to not score a touchdown, right? So this is actually an incredible play. So we got one, but that college football one moved on us pretty quickly. So sometimes it's just like these lines, move somewhat quickly, which makes it a little frustrating. But what do we want to go to next? So next we have Jamal Williams under in rushing yards. So here you can see FanDuel has his rushing yards line. It looks like at 21.5. So we can start to build a little 5 flex. And again, it does kind of matter how many picks you go with. So where is Williams? Or did they remove this? So we can go here. And again, just like the price of stock is always changing, economic conditions, stuff like that, like the market's always moving. If some wide receiver for Buffalo gets injured and Diggs is expected to have more targets, his line may move, right? But currently, given where everything is baked into the market, the odds that sportsbooks are putting out, and Diggs is heavily favored to not score, at least right now, right? And maybe some players get injured and things change, or the weather changes and, whatever. So all that stuff is priced into the odds that sportsbooks are putting out. So next we can go to, well, let's finish our slip. So we have 2 picks, or we just have 1 pick, and ideally we can get to 6. It doesn't look like there's a ton of value on the board right now, but hey, we'll still find a play. So one play I went with earlier is Lucas, so the Rams kicker, over 1.5 field goals made. So again, like you look at sports books, they all have him heavily favored to go over. Then we got a Texas Tech play. Xavier White under 4.5 receptions. And what else do we want to go with? So we can see here, so, it's not like there's – this play on Diggs is very, very good. So you may be like, okay, well, why don't we just send it as a 3-pick power? And again, it's just like this play on Diggs is really good. We want to bet it. But we still want to find, even if the other picks aren't as good, like not minus 200 odds. So if you look at this play on the Rams kicker, his over 1.5 field goals play is pretty good, 54.24% win rate. Minus 140, minus 150 on the books. He's favored to go over. Like, we have some value, but it's not like this play on Diggs where the books are like, no, like he's minus 200. He's a big favorite to not score. But again, the reason we don't want to play it as a 3-pick power is, their 3-pick powers on PrizePicks are just really bad, like really bad payouts. Whereas when you look at Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks is giving you a 5x payout for 3-pick powers. You're betting 100 to win 500, which maybe seems good, but it's not. It's actually horrible. Is if you look at Underdog Fantasy, they give you a 6x payout for these 3-pick powers. So like, even if the other plays are a little marginal, we still want to find, other picks that we can ideally go with. So let's kind of reload this. Sometimes we get lucky and maybe a new play will show up. So I assume they already removed Gibbs. They had Gibbs up earlier. They had Montgomery up earlier. And it's just a little annoying with these demons and goblins because the board is becoming a little harder to navigate, right? Like usually it was easier, and now it's just filled with a bunch of stuff. And these demons and goblins are horrible. Just looking through like a few of them, looking at their payouts, what odds they would be, like they're terrible. So I wish there was a setting to remove them, but there's not. So one play I did really like earlier is Cooper Kupp, no touchdown. So not to have a rushing plus receiving touchdown. And this actually pairs nicely with this play on the Rams kicker, who are taking over 1.5 field goals, right? These plays are positively correlated. I don't want this open. Right? If the Rams are kicking field goals, if he goes over, then Cooper Kupp's less likely to score a touchdown. So that play actually pairs pretty well, quite well, right? Like if Cooper Kupp doesn't score a touchdown, if the Rams aren't getting into the end zone, they're more likely to be kicking field goals. So those plays are positively correlated. So it's like, okay, like, we probably get a little bump there as well. And then we can take a college basketball play, call it a day. We got Graham Ike under 14.5 points. So let's go here and let's go to Graham Ike under 14.5 points. All right. And now we got a 5 flex. And again, like I already used my payout boost. I already used my Flex Friday. Unfortunately, that's just kind of how it goes. Anyone slamming stuff for $500 on PrizePicks, max winnings on single pick athlete more or less is $1,000. All these bullshit reasons why I can't bet things. $5. So let's see if they even let me $5. They're not even going to let me bet it. I'm pretty sure So anyways, regardless, I think this is a good 5 pick to go with. I also like the correlation on the Cup play and Lucas play. So, again, PrizePicks is a little fuck bitch. Anyways, let's see if we can find some plays on the under. So that's kind of the benefit, too, of having multiple books is PrizePicks, I've never seen stuff like this. Like, your max is 25, and also at the same time, you can't bet on a single athlete too much money. But regardless, that's just kind of how it is. So we can see if we can find some bets on Fliff or ParlayPlay or something like that. So one good play on Fliff we can go with is right here. So I just kind of bounce around from book to book. I recommend having as many sports books as possible. All these books, right? Like it's different than bank accounts. You know, you get a bank account, they're all the fucking same, basically. There's no difference between them. Whereas in sports betting, every book has different promos, first of all, right? So PrizePicks, for all the things they do to annoy me, they do have a risk-free bet today, you know? So if I lose, I get my money back. And they have this payout boost, you know? So that's nice about PrizePicks, I guess. But all these books also have different odds. They all have different odds lines from one another. So ideally, you have all the books, right? There's 250 or something like that sports books out there. Granted, they're not going to all be in your location, but the more books you have, you know, the more money you're going to make. So we can go here and we can just take Devin over 17.5 points. So what you're going to notice about this play, right, just data-oriented sports betting, everything is baked into the market. A lot of people will be like, oh, like, you know, I like to look at last 5 stats, yada, yada, yada. It's like this is baked into the market. Every game is different. It's already baked into the market, right? It's just like if a company has a great earnings report, they make a lot of money, and they crush their earnings, the stock price goes up, it's baked into the market, right? If it's snowing, that's baked into the market. The total moves lower. You know, you'll see rushing lines probably move higher and passing lines move lower if it's going to be snowing. But anyways, the best advice I got when sports betting was like, treat every book, treat it like trading a stock, right? Like we're getting this stock at minus 115 odds, his over 17.5 points. 130, like all these other books have this like minus 130, minus 145. It becomes pretty clear, like, hey, this is pretty good value. And another way you can think about it is like literally every one of these sports books has him favored, right? The over is favored or the over is juiced. Fliff is being an idiot. They're the only book with his under favored, right? They have more juice towards his under. They have his under juiced, his under favored. Every other book has his over favored or his over juiced. So it doesn't really make any sense. So it's clear that this is an opportunity on Fliff. And again, like OddsJam is just reading in all this data, all these different markets, steals, turnovers, millions of odds to try to point out like these rare few betting opportunities that actually have an edge. Anyways, PrizePicks, man. Underdog Fantasy, is there anything? We went on a pretty good run on Underdog Fantasy for a bit, but, you know, slowed down a little bit on Underdog Fantasy. They also limited me to $20 max bet sizes recently, or at least for some markets, but we hit, you know, a 5-pick, a 4-pick, and a 3-pick back-to-back. Some of those plays were from live stream, so hopefully you were able to tail. But anyways, let's go to ParlayPlay, which I get it. It's not the most popular book in the world. But again, they got a lot of promos. Put in 100, you get 100 for free. That's their sign-up promo. More books, more promos, and also they have a lot of good lines, right? There's a lot of money, a lot of money that you can make on PrizePicks. Or sorry, on ParlayPlay. So it actually looks like they have a ton of good lines available right now. So where do we want to start? Let's go here quickly. And they actually have the same payouts as PrizePicks, which makes it a little less intuitive, right? It's like, oh, why should I get ParlayPlay if they give me the same payout as PrizePicks for a 6-pick entry? Like, why would I? It's not intuitive. But the reason you'd want to is, again, all these books have different lines. So it's like if you were a day trader and every Fidelity, E-Trade, Robinhood, everywhere had different prices. But that doesn't happen, right? That doesn't happen in the stock market. It's too efficient. It only happens in sports betting, right? If you're a day trader and you could go to Fidelity and sell a stock at $26.50 that's trading in the market at $25.50, like that's a no-brainer. So here you can see like ParlayPlay, they have the line at 26.5. Every other book, fantasy sites, you have hundreds of sports books, 24.5, 25.5. Like it's the same concepts for finding good bets on PrizePicks. It's just ParlayPlay is a little more exploitable. So there's a lot of times better bets. What's nice too is they let you like create your own Taco Tuesday. You can bump a line in your favor every single day. But anyways, let's see if we can find some other bets on ParlayPlay. So we have our first pick. It looks like they're screwing up all of his lines. Wizards Pacers game. So there's value on all his plays. So Gafford over 6.5 rebounds. Gafford over in PRAs. So these plays pair kind of nicely together, right? Like if Gafford's going off, getting rebounds, scoring points, then most likely, he's going to be going under. So there's a little bit of positive correlation, right? It doesn't make sense to take Embiid, Maxey, Tobias Harris, a bunch of players from the same team over in points, right? They all can't score a bunch of points. So if Embiid's going over 34.5, probably doesn't make too much sense to take Maxey over 26.5. So those plays look kind of nice together. And then we have Bryce Young over 27.5 passing attempts. I mean, you look at all these other books, 29.5, 28.5. That seems pretty good. And again, it's just kind of like trying to move quickly because Bryce Young. It's trying to move quickly because, again, like these books, they'll move lines pretty good, especially if they think you have a good play. So we can go here to Nick Richards, rebounds plus assists. So this is called the OddsJam Sportsbook screen. It just kind of shows you like, okay, like here's where all the books have the line. Parlay plays at 11, all the other fantasy sites that work literally in the exact same way, right? PrizePicks, they give you the same payout for 6-pick flexes, right? So all this stuff's the same. They all have the line lower at 10.5, all the sports books, all the fantasy sites, right? It's just like take your emotions out of it, sell the stock at $11 when it's worth $10.50, and that's the price that it's at in the market. So we can go here, and we want under 11 rebounds plus assists, and it's like, okay, like we got another good play. Why are there so many good plays? So here's the play that PrizePicks bumped quickly, this Mikey Keene guy. All the other books ripped his line lower to like 245. They have his line still sitting pretty at, you can see him right here, 253.5. All these other books, everything is baked into the market, right? Sharp action, everything. If all the smart people, these books aren't fucking stupid. If all the smart people start betting Mikey Keene's under, books move the line lower, right? They add juice to the under, they move the line lower. Everything is baked into the market, right? So wherever sharps are betting, books move the line in those favors. FanDuel knows which of its customers are profitable. If all, the profitable customers are betting the under, they'll move the line lower. And you can see here, it's like all these books have this player's line significantly lower. So it's like, okay, this can be, a play we go with. It seems like a pretty dang good play to go with. So we can go here to Mikey Keene. And then it's like, what else you got for us? CD Lamb, no touchdown. It's like, okay, we can lock that in. Why not? We don't have any plays yet in the, rushing plus receiving TD. I guess maybe PrizePicks has this lineup. I'm not sure. And then we got Pratt over 6.5 tackles plus assists. So actually 7-pick entries are slightly better, on ParlayPlay, 7-pick uninsured entries, but it's kind of up to you. Like you can play 7-pick entries or you can just play, 6-pick uninsured entries, right? Just like this. This is the same payout as PrizePicks. 25x, 2x, 0.4x. So we can lock this in, and you can see they already moved this line on Denny. So it's like, okay, like what we can do is we can go here, and we can go back to what did we want to take for him? We wanted to take his over, right? Again, just like make sure, a quick check, okay, like did I get the lines I want? Don't want to fat finger anything. It tells me my max bet size is $60. If I try to put in 600, they're only going to give me 60. So it's like, fuck, man. So they already moved the line on Mikey Keene. So again, like there's just a speed component. It's like, ideally, you're moving as quickly as possible to get these bets down because these books, they don't want you to make money. So if they think a line is good and people are hitting it, they'll move the line. So we have Thompson under 14 points plus assists. So we can go here. And we can take the star rookie under 14 points plus assists, right? And let's just move quickly, lock it in. Oh my gosh. So you can see they're bumping things like crazy, which is just kind of how it goes. So quick. Like it's just a speed thing. So what do we want to go with? Sure. We can fade another star rookie under 33.5 points plus rebounds. And then we have a nice little 6-pick entry. All these player props have, win rates high enough to be profitable for a 6-pick parlay play entry. So you can go here and you can just go to like, okay, 6-man insured. Again, 7-pick entries are slightly better just in terms of like the implied odds, but it's pretty marginal. So a 7-pick uninsured entry, a 7-leg parlay versus a 6-pick entry with insurance, whatever. You may have a preference of which one you want to place. Doesn't really matter. The 7-pick uninsured entries have like a, pretty high payout. So anything else available, we can take a look. Not really. A lot of the same stuff. So anyways, we'll call it a day for now. If there's good bets later, I'll be back on live stream. And again, thanks so much for tuning in.